But first, we start with breaking news right now in our alert center on News 12. Police are investigating a shooting in Yonkers. It happened a little before 2:30 p.m. around 2 Park Avenue. To kind of help you place that, there's a TD Bank that's right near there. A man was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to his arm. Police do expect him to survive, luckily. No one's been arrested yet. Police tell us they are working on that, and you shouldn't worry that there's no threat to public safety because of this. Investigators' working theory is this was random, but it is still early on in their investigation. So watch here, news12.com, and our News 12 mobile app for updates.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Shooting. 21-year-old being shot in the arm. More violence. More gun violence. Also, affordable housing and Shanae Williams. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Whoa. Hope you're having a beautiful, Friday? Sorry, folks. I was doing a lot of research, just digging. It's like a rabbit hole. It's like it leads you from one thing to the other, to the next, to the other. And then you're just like, what's going on here? But maybe you guys can help me out here. I want to talk about some stuff, but I'll get into that in a second. First, I want to talk about the candidates forum yesterday. Shanae Williams not showing up, but her opponent, the incumbent, Chris Johnson, did show up. And, Shanae Williams, I'm not sure why she didn't show up, but she should be showing up. Her district is the district that's being gentrified. People are being kicked out of there. That's where a lot of the problems exist. Many of the problems that we see here in Yonkers exist in District 1. Homelessness, right? The developments, the crowds, the drug use, the shooting, this shooting on Park Avenue, leaving a 21-year-old with a bullet in the arm, another shooting. Remember, it was maybe 2-3 weeks ago that a 19-year-old was killed on Morris, and they arrested, 3 or 4 young people, a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, and 2 16-year-olds for that. So what are our elected officials doing, right? A lot of this stuff is happening in 1, 2, and 3 districts, right? That's Williams, Pineda Isaac, and Tasha Diaz, our lovely minority women, right? What are you guys doing? Mostly minority people getting shot, mostly minority people homeless, mostly minority people that we see abusing and addicted to drugs out in your guys' district, right? Tasha Diaz is running for re-election. Williams is looking for you guys to vote her into the county as the District 16 representative. She wants to take out Chris Johnson. But what has she really done for District 1? And Corazon Pineda Isaac is obviously running against Mayor Mike Spano and Reverend Margaret Coleman. But let's talk about Williams, right? What is Williams actually doing? She didn't attend this, candidates night, which I thought was a bit offensive, because this is when the people get to come out and actually see you. I believe she was at this private one. I could be wrong, but there was a private one that was held by wealthier people here in the city of Yonkers. And that one the mayor did attend. But this one, the mayor not attending. I heard he had bronchitis. Shanae Williams also not attending. Why not? Chris Johnson was there. He's the guy you're trying to beat. And this is a great opportunity to get to see the people. But maybe she's a no-show because she's afraid of what people are going to say to her, right? They're set a lot of reasons in her district, and she doesn't want people to confront her, right? One of the issues is the developments that are going on Woodworth. What is she doing about that? People held a rally, and she was not there. Chris Johnson was. That was a great sign of Chris Johnson to show up and support those people. Shanae Williams, that's also his district. But, was she there? I don't even remember. I don't know if she was there. But I saw Chris Johnson speaking, right? So what are you guys doing for these individuals here? A no-show here. I think it's a great opportunity for you to speak to people in your district, right? Also, the shooting, the Glocks for Ox. Remember that? Shanae Williams spent the whole week volunteering at this new film school, SIT Film Academy, that's over there by Vanderdock. And I went over there after someone alerted me that she had been there every day for the past week. And sure enough, she was there. And I got her. And she was a bit standoffish. She didn't want to tell me what was going on there. She said, I have to wait for the launch, right? But she quickly went and got Ruros to come out, and she told him all about it, right? She was doing damage control. Everybody knows that's exactly what she was doing. Because according to sources, that SICK film school is a new film school, pretty much, that was founded by someone she may be dating now. So is she funneling money, according to sources, to someone that she is dating in order to open up this SICK film school, this Glocks for Ox? Well, she very recently, and the individual named Jesus, very recently had a grand opening, and they presented their SICK tank. It's a ambulance. Isn't that interesting? An ambulance, which they turned into some kind of film production vehicle. The goal, according to Shanae Williams, is to take the guns out of the kids' hands and replace it with film cameras. Well, people are getting shot. People are dying. Have you been replacing those guns with cameras? Are you out there in the community? Because you haven't mentioned anything about it. None of the elected officials has really spoken about the shootings that are happening here in the city of Yonkers. None of them have mentioned anything about the gang violence. You know, there's gangs out there. You know, there's Bloods and Crips. Do you guys know about that? You guys know about the Mac Ballers, right? And the Jets and the 300s I'm hearing about. You guys know about those gangs? I'm sure the police know all about them. But are you just allowing the police to deal with it so they can just arrest them, put them in jail? That's it? Get them out of here, right? Develop the luxury buildings. Kick those people out. Is that what it is, Shanae? Well, isn't that what your Glocks for Ox program is all about? So why aren't you out there helping people, right? Again, people were recently at a rally demanding that the city stop the proposed 32-story buildings, 2 32-story towers. They call them the Twin Towers of Yonkers. I want to go into a bio of Shanae Williams here. A leader and a first for many. Appointed to the Yonkers City Council on January 1st, 2018, and subsequently elected to the City Council in 2019. She was appointed by Mayor Mike Spano, and she's been with Mayor Spano for forever, since she was, in college and interning. Council member Williams holds a Bachelor of Science from the State University of New York at Albany and holds the highest GPA award for the class of 2011. Can anybody fact check that, please, in the Department of Sociology? Williams interned and then served in the New York State Assembly. That's where she met Mike Spano. Upon graduating undergrad, she then worked full-time at the office of the mayor in Yonkers, New York. Williams obtained her master's and MBA with the focus in leadership from Walden University in 2015. Born in Jamaica and immigrated to Yonkers as a child, Councilmember Williams is the younger of 2 siblings. She has a very large extended family, as her mother is one of 13 children, right? So you're, you immigrated from Jamaica. So you should have more compassion for the people that are being pushed out of your district, Shanae Williams. There's a whole lot of gentrification going on there. The place is truly changing, and it's not affordable for many people. And people don't want their properties to be, obscured, the views to be obscured by these 2 tall 32-story towers. What are you doing about it? There was another constituent that came to me for help. You were a no-show, but you can volunteer at the Glocks for Ox. And then when people are shooting each other, the SICK tank is nowhere to be found. Where's the SICK tank? I mean, they got a lot of money to do things in the community with the kids, did they not? You volunteered there, though you didn't have any paint on your hands. You're a good painter. So where's the SICK tank? What are you doing? So why should people vote for you for District 16 and represent that district at the county level? What is it that you've done, Shanae Williams? Save our community. 2 towers, 32-story towers. People do not want it on Woodworth. You guys know the area. How are you going to put 2 32 towers in such a narrow street, such a condensed area? It's fairly quiet now. I would imagine these 2 towers are going to disrupt the, quality of life there. And some people may say, oh, it's not that, it's going to improve it because it's a bad area. You don't know the area, then don't talk about it. I know the area, and sure, things happen, but it's also a community there where people have lived there, and generations of people have lived there many, 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 many years. They're family-like, and they're going to have their whole world disrupted. And many of us are seeing that happen. Many people on the South and Southwest side are seeing that happen. But does Shanae care? No. And I'll tell you why she doesn't care in a minute. Doesn't matter. She's her family came here as immigrants from Jamaica. And many of the people that are being impacted negatively are immigrants, folks living at or below the poverty line. Yonkers Times, we endorse Shanae Williams for Westchester County Legislator. Okay. One of the most interesting, dramatic Democratic primaries in Westchester is happening in Yonkers. Remember, folks, tomorrow's early voting, June 17th. With two popular incumbents facing against each other. And remember, Shanae replaced Chris Johnson at the, for District 1 Council. Yonkers City Councilwoman Shanae Williams is challenging County Legislator Christopher Johnson for his Board of Legislators seat in District 16. We endorse, and here's why. Williams has served in the City Council, I would love to, since 2018 and has been a voice for the community. Wait a minute. She's not a voice for these individuals here in her community. Is it selective? Is it selective? She wanted to stand up for the children in the Yonkers public schools to make sure that they were getting access to a good quality education. How? How does she do that? She wanted to help provide more affordable housing for families so they wouldn't be forced out of Yonkers as economic development boom. How has she done that? They have not passed a new affordable housing ordinance. How long has it been now? That wasn't a priority. She was able to get the term extended, right? They were able to create these new district maps, but they still can't get an affordable housing. She understands that families are being forced out, but does she really care? I don't think so. I'll show you why in a minute. She wanted to help the homeless population get access to services and off the street. How? In fact, she is the chair of the Social Services Committee. Something to that effect. She's supposed to be out there in the community, reaching out to people who are homeless, who are in need, figuring out a solution in order to assure that the quality of life for those who live near Getty Square, because not everyone is homeless, not everyone is a criminal. There are people that go to work, wake up in the morning every day, and they like to come home from work and feel safe too. Unfortunately, they don't get these luxuries that you do, Shanae. Access to various ways to generate income, right? She wanted to improve the quality of life for residents in the first district. And how has she done it? Williams has been a fierce advocate for the young people in Yonkers, and each year she has voted to increase funding that the city Yonkers provides to the Board of Education. How so? How so? They are underfunded again. Underfunded. And everybody takes credit for whatever funding they say they give to the schools. She's a fierce advocate for the young. Yes, certain group of individuals, no doubt. And I'm not knocking those people because they'll say, Freddie, he has an issue with Shanae. No, because I understand that Shanae has done things for you guys, and I get it. A lot of you guys in the arts, the arts scene and stuff like that, and that's cool. I'm not knocking it. I'm glad. You guys are doing a lot of great things. Cool. But there's a lot of things that we need to, address. And there are more pressing things that we need to address at times that are being ignored. And that's the problem. It's not that I hate or have hate or dislike. And just because you have, your experience, it's not the same with the rest of the city. And you have to understand that, and you have to be, empathetic and sympathetic to the fact that there are people that are homeless. There are people that are being forced out of their homes, being forced to sell their homes over on the Northwest side. And Shanae Williams doesn't care. there are issues that residents and constituents have that are being ignored by Shanae Williams. So while you, and I'm not directing to anybody specifically, just anyone who feels like, oh, well, I've got this from Shanae, while you may have been helped, there are so many more that have not. Right. So I don't know where the fierce advocate stuff is, because I very recently had an experience where she was not so fierce at all. In fact, she was MIA. Right. As a result, Yonkers public school children now have access to sports, arts, music, more counselors and psychologists. Didn't Tasha Diaz take credit for that? Who else took credit for that? Everybody takes credit for that. How did you do that? How does Shanae Williams specifically get more money, advocate fiercely to get more funding herself to the Yonkers public schools, which resulted in this access to sports, arts, music, and more counselors? I want to know how Shanae Williams did that. The city of Yonkers is the leader in Westchester County in terms of the number of affordable housing units being constructed. Those are terms that they just throw out there, talking points. They want you to believe that. And I'm only mentioning all this and reading this because, folks, it's very important when you look at a candidate, right? You have to truly believe and know that that candidate is going to actually make an impact, because enough of people just talking about it but not doing anything. And then they say the same exact things each and every election. But we don't actually get a real plan of action. There's no logistics, right? It's not detailed and it doesn't get done. And so this is what we have to look for. Not whether they're Democrat, not whether they're Republican, not whether they're white, not whether they're black, whether they're Latino, but do they have a plan? Do they understand the issues clearly? And do they have a plan of action that's sensible, rational, and displays the logistics of how they're going to get it done? We are most impressed with her work and advocacy for the homeless during her time on the council. Exactly what does she do? But they don't say anything. And in this race for county legislator, in 2018, she formed the homelessness task force in 2018 so they could be a voice for the homeless, find solutions, and make recommendations to the Westchester County on how to best serve the homeless. Where's this homelessness? Because the homeless population has increased in District 1 significantly. And I've been out there feeding these guys, and I have not, and gals, and I have not seen the task force out there. But hey, could be. Throughout the years, Williams' office has been a safe space for many homeless and has hosted several toiletries. Okay, Legislator Johnson has served on the county board for the past 6 years. Recently, information has been reported about Johnson's ownership of an so this guy, Yonkers Times. This is why we can't. He's endorsed. When you endorse somebody, right, you're influencing. You're saying, I give this person, I vouch for this person. This is the person you should vote for. So to the readers of the Yonkers Times, right, if you don't know any better, what he's doing is he's setting up Shanae Nice and he's throwing Johnson under the bus rather than being unbiased, rather than giving details of exactly how Shanae Williams did everything that he just listed there. He doesn't. He goes from listing a bunch of talking points to then throwing Johnson under the bus in regards to affordable housing. But what has Shanae Williams done to increase the affordable housing, the availability of affordable housing here in the city of Yonkers? What? Yonkers Housing Authority partnerships with West Hab will help to preserve affordable housing. It's great to take a picture, but there are many people who are having issues finding an affordable place to live. The prices of rents are going up everywhere. It doesn't matter what district you're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, especially actually in the poorer districts. Because a lot of the developments are going up there and people are wanting to live there by the water. So you're pushing a lot of the poor people out. And you have yet to at least say, hey, let's increase the affordable housing ordinance so when we make this impact by bringing in these developments, they are having access to more affordable units, or at least we're making these developers add more affordable units to their buildings. Because the thing that they say, oh, well, if we went to 20, then they wouldn't develop. How do you know that? Give us a reason. Show us the data. And if that's the case, then we find another way to do it. But we don't push people out. We don't replace people. And that's exactly what Shanae Williams is all about. It's gentrification. Gentrification in District 1. That's what Shanae Williams has been about. And she has done it intentionally, knowingly, willfully, and has had no problems with it while, avoiding and being evasive and hiding for most her tenure. Low-income residents will be able to stay in their affordable housing units thanks to a new partnership between the Yonkers Housing Authority and West Ave. Last year, YHA announced a partnership with West Ave to provide rental subsidies to residents by awarding the organization Section 8 housing vouchers. Okay. YHA administers the vouchers provided by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Section 8 vouchers provide critical rental subsidies to income qualifying tenants and their friends, some of them, allowing residents to remain in their homes and increasing the stock of much needed, deeply affordable housing in the Yonkers community. As of March of this year, 67 households have begun receiving this critical subsidy. Yonkers Housing Authority and West Ave plan to add 33 more vouchers to the program, preserving a total of 100 units of quality housing for low-income residents in Yonkers, including families with children, the elderly, and the disabled. The goal is to preserve affordable housing for people who may be at risk of losing their house because their incomes are too low to afford the housing in the area, as the luxury developments are driving all of the prices up, said Wilson Kimball. Well, I actually added that last part. It stopped at the housing in our area. Wilson Kimball, president and CEO of Yonkers Housing Authority, aka Macy Municipal Housing Authority of the city of Yonkers, also the chairperson of the Zoning Board of Appeal. What is that? Well, the zoning board is the board of individuals who decide whether or not to change the zoning laws, whether or not they're going to allow 2 32-story buildings to be built on Woodworth. Because, before we couldn't go that high, but now we're just changing zoning laws like it's nobody's business. But before they did that, they had to get rid of my main man, Jeffrey Landsman. And they did it in the most shady and disgusting way. But that's the way they do it. They don't let you know that you're out. You're out. You don't go along with it. You're out. Ain't that right, Wilson Kimball? Wilson Kimball's become a developer right here lately. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Our partnerships with West Ave make sense on so many levels. It helps support low-income residents as well as a nonprofit organization that does such valuable work in our community. We truly appreciate this opportunity to better serve our community. These vouchers greatly benefit our tenants. Am I talking in circles? And I'm reading this. And will help preserve and improve West Ave's quality, affordable housing stock. And West Ave President Richard Nightingale. West Ave founded in 1981 to address the affordable housing crisis in Westchester. So it was founded in 1981 to address the affordable housing crisis in Westchester. When is it ever going to get better? So it's always been a housing crisis. So you had since 1981 to do something about this crisis. And you're blaming the pandemic, right? Obviously not. Obviously not. We see how well they do with drugs. They open the borders, doors, and welcome to drug lords, open arms. Yeah, well, we're talking about national politics there. Storefronts empty, 4 vacancies on Main Street, 6 on Warburg, and in the multiple empty apartments with new developments going on. The plan is not working. No, and that's another thing, right? A lot of money is being spent. Jobs have not been brought into the city, right? How many of you guys got jobs at one of these developments? How many of you have benefited because of this development? I want to know. Comment and say, Freddie, you're wrong. Because of these developments, my life has improved here in the city of Yonkers. I got a job. I got a better apartment. But most people are not saying that. And if you're someone, please let me know. But most people are saying it's crowded. It's congested. The construction, the noise. And are they even being built safe? A lot of those developments, especially the low income and affordable ones, like the ones in Ashburton, are having problems right away. Barely 7 years, 5 years, they're leaking in the elevator shafts, water coming into people's apartment. They're not built right. They're cheaply made. And they're rushing and building them. Why? Because they're trying to get that federal money. That's what it's all about, that federal money, our taxpayer money, our federal tax money. They are trying to put it all in their pocket, these developers, and even the individuals that are dealing in affordable housing. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But again, since 1981. 1981. And you're right, Johnny, a lot of empty storefronts. Look at Ridge Hill. How many empty stores do you see there? Are the people coming? They're building, but are they coming? If you build it, they will come, right? Is that how this goes? But I don't think that's happening here in the city of Yonkers. We need technical and trade schools. Our children need more choices. Absolutely. Our children need more choices, right? Our children, need a lot. And that's where it starts. That's how we build a community, right? Where I go when I leave Yonkers, I see the difference because the people there stay in their community. They go to high school, they graduate, they get a job, they start a business, but they stay in their community. They invest in their community. And then their kids go to the same high school. And then their alma mater. And so they're proud of their son who just scored a touchdown for the high school team and everybody's cheering. And now he's getting a scholarship. And so is his girlfriend, the cheerleader. And a whole bunch of your friends are getting academic scholarships. And it's prom night, senior night, rallies, graduation station. Let's rock and roll. I mean, these are the experiences these kids deserve. And they're not getting, and they try to, make us happy about it. No, we're not happy about this. We don't like it. We need more. It's not okay. So many kids are not being provided a quality education. And for them to sit there and say the same exact things over and over as if they're actually doing something, it disgusts me. They're here to enrich themselves. That's what it's all about. Ain't that right, Shanae? Because it's all about the contributions that they get from these developers, the money that they can make from this development. Everybody's looking at how can they benefit? How can they enrich themselves? It's obvious that what's happening, the problem in Yonkers, it's the greedy politicians' salaries and benefits. No public service jobs should get pensions, get a pension. Only a 401k. Salaries need to be cut 65% across the board. When they want to do a bullshit study, just put a mirror up to their face. And there's the problem. You're right. When the city's revenue is largely going to salaries, that's a problem. And you look at a lot of these organizations, the same thing. As I go through their financial records, most of the salaries, most of the money that these organizations receive goes to salary, benefits, and compensation. Same thing as the city. And that's what I say. So how do they help the kids when most of the money is going in the pockets of the people who operate these organizations? How does the city better the school district when most of the money goes into the pockets of the people that work for the city? And then they leave the city. They take that tax money, they buy a house somewhere else, and they fund another school district. That's the problem. And so now what do they want to do? Let's change it. Let's get people that just use this as a bedroom community where they come here, they sleep, then they wake up early, get on a train, go to work in the city, come back here, go to sleep, and do it all over again. No investment in the community. No ties to the community. A bunch of strangers walking with their dogs. Scoop it up. See here, I don't want to lose this here. This is Shanae Williams. Contributions that she's received. RMR, RV, LLC, $1,000. And this, you got to do the research. And, thank you for giving me the time to do the research, guys. I told you to keep me busy. So you do the research. Well, one of the first ones up there that I can't see now because if I move, it's going to start all over, is Hutch Management. Right, you can go on the Westchester on this right here in the state page, actually. Contributions by recipient. Shanae Williams. County clerk, county legislator. Sorry. So let's look at her funding. Her friend Christine Peters. That's legit. That's legit. Right, but let's go down. AMS, $1,000. Do you think she's going to care about the average constituent, the average resident that hasn't given her a penny? Who is her loyalty and her decision-making going to be for? Is it the person that's never given her a penny but lives in her district? Or the developers that live in an affluent neighborhood somewhere outside of Yonkers that are coming here to simply enrich themselves even further because they gave her $1,000 and they've been giving her money for quite some time now? AMS. They own the building that John Rubo has his business in, a councilman from the 4th District. So who are those two individuals going to represent? Not you, voter, not you, constituent. It's AMS all day long. $1,000 from the Economic Initiatives PAC. What is that? What is a PAC? Political Action Committee. Basically, they're created to pool money or put money into in order to fund a candidate or fund a political initiative, fund a political agenda. In this case, developing Yonkers. Gaining influence with the district councilwoman who represents the district where we are going to be doing most our business. Glocks for Ox. $1,000 from the Economic Initiatives PAC. Where are they located? Well, the address says 1260 Waters Place in the Bronx. Okay, let's look at that. Oh, 1260 Waters Place. Who's this? I don't know. Ambulate, City Care, Storage. It's BS. It's another rental property. It's another investment property because these guys hide themselves. But that's Hutch Management. That's my main man, Joe Simone. Joe Simone. Hutch Management has connections and a relationship with certain other individuals that I've mentioned. I'll let you connect those dots, but I've already connected them. We'll get to that at some other point in time. There was another one, RXR. Oh, here we go. Ishko Inc. What is that? $1,000. I like to look at the big money. 55 Wicks. Who are these guys? Ishko? You can do this at home, folks. It's time that the people take control of our government. Ishko, 55 Wicks Avenue. Service of process, the corporation. Interesting. I'll get to that in a minute. 55 B&B Holdings. Interesting. Let's look into that company in a minute. 55 Wicks. We have Diadio's General Contracting. Who's that? Diadio General, Kevin Diadio, Michael. I don't know. Know those guys? Well, they want to do business in Yonkers, so they donate $1,000 to District 1 Councilwoman, where all the development and investment are happening. They're located at 55 Wicks, but that's probably just another one of their investment properties. But look at the schools. What's the schools nearby 55 Wicks where this developer or investor has another property? There's School 5. It's got a 3 of 10, Shanae. And the rest of you council members, Saunders Trade School. Weren't you just talking about that, Jose? They have a 6 out of 10. Oh, my God. Oh, wait. We got a 7. We got a 7. Pineda School 24. We got a 7, folks. That's a C. Cross Hill Academy, a 2. Do you see that, Shanae? Do you see that, council members? Do you see that, elected officials? But they don't care because the developers and the investors are funding them, right? Not the kids that go to that school, not their parents. They can't afford it. The majority of them live at or below the poverty line. And many of them immigrated here also, like you, Shanae Williams. But they didn't have the luxury of leaving Yonkers like you and I did. And we got to see more. We got to see better. But the difference between you and I is I want to give back. I want to help others do the same, and you don't. Don't give me no Glocks for Ox nonsense. RMR, RV, another individuals that gave her $1,000. Located at 66 Virginia Place. Let's check out who that is. Where did that go? Gives me a bunch of stuff. This actually came back to a Rabadi. I don't know why I didn't have it up right away. Should have been up. RMRRV LLC. These are the people that get priority. So if you're not donating $1,000, you're not getting priority from our elected officials. It's just the way it is. It's unfortunate. But that's why they don't care. That's why they're pushing you out. Because you don't donate. You're a nobody. You're not Raid Rabadi. And no disrespect to the Rabadi family or all the Jordanians that live in Yonkers. It's not a diss to you guys. Wicked Wolf, another individual that donated to Shanae. Louis Jalaj, the Jalaj family. Remember Anthony Jalaj? He's on the zoning board of appeal. Why? Because his dad is an investor, owns 470 Nepperhan. Does a lot of things, with the city and certain individuals. RMR, remember, I told you, $1,000. Wicked Wolf, $1,000. What's Wicked Wolf? 2 Scarsdale Road, Tuckahoe, New York. Principal address, 236 Broadway. What's at 2 Scarsdale Road? Oh, at the old stone mill. Anybody know about that? The old stone mill? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. James Carey, the actor. Wicked Wolf North. Real estate company. Worthington Estates. Louis DiNapoli. Would he be related to Thomas DiNapoli? Just curious. I don't know. I know not all the people with the same last name are related. So this just a few of the reasons why Shanae Williams is not going to represent the people that are being kicked out of District 1, why they don't care about the schools. You saw the scores that they have. Yet the Yonkers Times will tell you she did so much to provide a good quality education to our kids. The man's a liar. He's paid by them. That's why I don't take money from them. And no, I'm not a sellout. These high rises have no impact on your residential income or your residential home. No, they're building them right in front of people's residential homes. That's the problem. They're pushing people out, forcing them to sell their homes for below market at times so they can build towers. Federal, you're right. Most of the shitty council members are rubber stamps, no spine to stand up and do what's right for the people. Instead, they allowed outside companies. This is the problem. These are outside companies to put up red light cameras, pass legislation, build luxury housing, bring outside employees, outside workers. They're not providing jobs to the people here. That's right. The camera companies, the outside companies, they get most of the money off those tickets that you get. They get, no, actually, I'm lying. The city gets 60%, I believe. No, is it? Is it? I forget. I have to check. It's a 60-40 split. I'm in no one's pocket. No, me either. And, I want to show you this because it's important to know why our elected officials don't care. Why when you call, why when we have rallies, why when you demand that these developments do not go up, they're destroying our neighborhood. They don't answer, they don't care, they don't show up. Why they don't have the respect to show up to this candidate forum to talk with the people, to answer questions, meet with the people. Our elected officials should be in the community damn near every day. And they're not. They're hiding. How often have you seen Shanae Williams? How often? But she's out here representing those that are gentrifying District 1. And that includes the northwest side of the city. And she wants to represent that side on the county level. Imagine what she'll do then. And it goes on and on. Marathon development, and on. Rand commercial, and on and on, and on and on. These are the people that she is representing and working for. Not you. Not Joe, constituent. And what is it all about, these developers? They want all this federal money. $875 million for 3,100 affordable homes across New York State. How can we get that money? Well, let's set up nonprofit companies and say we want to bring affordable housing to the minorities and the poor people. We want to bring a holistic approach. You know what that means? It's not just thinking about your emotions or your physical needs or your mental needs. It's thinking about everything, all your needs. Even the ones you think you need, but you don't. Like a dishwasher and a microwave. Oh, actually, I need a microwave. It's good to heat up something quick. Municipal Housing Authority for the city of Yonkers. Where is the housing ordinance? Municipal housing deals with low-income housing, but also affordable housing. President Wilson Kimball, this woman is enriching herself. She's got a bunch of rentals on Midland Avenue over in those apartments. They're getting buku cash. She's become a developer. She's basically become the community builders. What are the community builders? All these people work for the community builders. They actually did a project here in Yonkers as well, but they're all over the country. Who are we? Community builders, missions to build and sustain strong community where all people can thrive. They create high quality homes for all people, connect residents to opportunity, make neighborhood investments that last, right? This is all about getting money from the federal government to provide affordable, what they say, in low-income housing to the people. $65 million in investments in minority-owned businesses, 14,000 plus apartment homes in our ownership portfolio, 25,000 plus residents call our communities home, including residents here in the city of Yonkers. But these are legit. These guys have been around for a while. But there's a new player in town. Mulford Affordable Housing Development, the Mulford Corporation. The Mulford Corporation. Mulford is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation that was formed to develop, manage, and facilitate affordable housing in Yonkers, New York. Since its establishment, Mulford has either developed or co-developed over 2,200 units of low-income housing and has actively participated in the operation of over 19 low-income properties. In addition to its development-related activities, Mulford works with local organizations to provide education, arts, and supportive services to the community. The purpose, operated by an independent board of directors. Mulford works with the municipal, okay, remember, it's not Municipal Housing Authority of the City of Yonkers. This is where a lot of people get lost and why they're able to pull a fast one on us, because most of us won't understand this, and it's no disrespect. Shit, you know how long it's taken me, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And I understand all about these shell companies and different, entities, structures, right? Operated by an independent board of directors, Mulford works with the Municipal Housing Authority of the City of Yonkers and related organizations and agencies, such as the City of Yonkers, to increase and foster the accessibility of low-income housing and offer essential services to the residents of the city's affordable housing communities. These social services include drug education and elimination program. Well, you guys are failing. Parenting programs, childcare. Hey, you ever thought about reaching out to me? No, because you hate me. Job training. These are the people that actually started the child porn rumor. Job training, education, as well as extensive recreation and cultural activities. Mulford is also committed to the goal of transitioning the affordable housing properties in Yonkers to a clean energy and climate resilient economy that addresses health, environmental, and energy burdens that have disproportionately impacted underrepresented and underserved communities. Yo, how the hell is that? How does that make sense? This is such a sell, right? How does that make sense? That addresses health, environmental, and energy burdens that have disproportionately impacted underrepresented and underserved communities, including people of color, indigenous populations, low-income individuals, and women. Does that mean women in Scarsdale as well, or just the women on the Southwest side? See, like they always group women. It doesn't matter. You're a woman, you're a minority. It doesn't matter if you got $10 million in your account. Because I happen to know when you have a lot of money in your account, you're not a minority anymore. It's a little bit different. But remember, women are minorities. We can't forget that. So when you hear the minority statistics, you have to remember it's not just people of color, and it's also indigenous people. List of board members of the Mulford Corporation. Chair, James J. Landy, Brenda Gray, Joan Dearleen, Wilda Mejia, Greg Arcario, Patrick James, Gene Tickle, John J. McDonald, Treasurer John A. Lizwiski, Assistant Treasurer Carlos Leboy Diaz, President Wilson Kimball, Secretary Brian Sweeney. Anybody know who that guy is? Anybody? Well, remember his name. Brian Sweeney. The Mulford Corporation was formed by the Municipal Housing Authority for the City of Yonkers, the Housing Authority, to provide social services to residents of the low and moderate income housing, to raise funds to supplement the Housing Authority's low income housing projects, and in general support the Housing Authority. It is organized and operated exclusively for charitable purposes by relieving the poor and distressed and or lessening the burdens of government, right? So this is what they're saying. We're here to help, right? Relieve the poor and distressed and or lessen the burdens of the government. It's a private nonprofit. So this is not from the city. Remember that. That's important. This is private. Programs, grants made by the Mulford Corporation. No, they're giving Yonkers Arts. Hey, Shanae, $78,000. What did I say? Yonkers Arts, shout out to you guys. Keep rocking and rolling. You're doing your thing. No disrespect. I'm just saying. Groundwork Hudson Valley. So these are some of the organizations that you constantly see, right? The same ones all the time that they take pictures with, the galas, the this, that, and the third. Groundwork Hudson Valley. Green Infrastructure Feasibility Study, $16,000. Youth Theater Interactions, $14,000. Again, personnel, Brian Sweeney. Brian Sweeney. Now, let's move on. I want to look at their tax returns, right? 2019. Actually, no, what can I look at? Another, so let's see. It's 2019 also. 2019 tax returns. And this is important. This is where you find the stuff you're looking for that we all, no, not we all, but many of you want to know. And guess who the firm's name that prepared this tax return for this Mulford Corporation, this private nonprofit? PFK O'Connor Davies. Well, where do you know them from? Oh, that's right. They also prepare for the city of Yonkers. They do everything, right? Current year, program service revenue, $11,377,760. $377,760, excuse me, right? Total assets, over 14 million. Okay. Revenues less expenses, 9 million, but total assets, 14 million. Now, let's go down. Because these folks are making money. Ain't that right, Wilson? You guys are making money. Money, 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 money. Money. So let's look at some of the companies that they contract to do things with, right? One of them, a financial services company called the Fresnel Group or Fresnel Group. You see it here? I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see that. Owned by the wife of the corporation secretary. Who was the corporation secretary? The Mulford Corporation. Well, Brian Sweeney. So his company, the Fresno Group, which is located in Maryland, gets almost $400,000 for building consultant. I don't know. So I want to read some of this stuff. The organization has a management agreement for certain administrative and consulting services with the Fresno Group. The Fresno Group shall provide financial, administrative, and program and development management services to assist the organization in implementation and management of its rental assistance programs. The vouchers that the government pays for, we, the taxpayer, actually pay for, the taxpayers. So they're using our money to gamble in the real estate business. Ain't that lovely? There are no individuals reported in Part via 2, whatever section compensated, right? So yes, they're not compensated to be on the board of the Mulford Gardens, but they're compensated by implementing their or engaging with their for-profit businesses, right? Like the management company that they all own that manages these properties. That's how you make the money, because at the end of the day, we have to pay a manager, right? So why not it be our company? The organization has formed prepared, blah, blah, blah. Election treated as, okay, I'm going to read this here. Election pursuant to Internal Revenue Code Section 168, blah, blah, blah. Election to be treated as a taxable entity. Reference made to Troy Christensen LP, a New York limited partnership, the partnership of which Troy Christensen, I'm going to say it like that, GP LLC, a New York limited liability company. The general partner is the general partner and the Enterprise Neighborhood Impact Fund 2 LLC, a Delaware limited liability company. The Mulford Corporation, a New York non-for-profit corporation, the tax exempt, owns 100% of the issued and outstanding shares of the general partner. You see that? You see that? So that's the taxable entity, because it's a for-profit company. The companies I just named. Who are the people that own those companies? Well, the very board members themselves. People like Wilson Kimball, Brian Sweeney, the treasurer. Is that conflicts of interest? And then they're getting to pick who they want. Why do you think they did the lotto? That wasn't to help the people. That was to get the people who were on the list off, to redo it and fix it, to get certain individuals in that they preferred. Remember, they're putting microwaves and dishwashers in there now. Got to take care of it. These are our properties. Don't tell nobody. They think they belong to Macy. And by the way, so that means that you guys can do something about Brian Harrod, because you both own and manage that property. And you try to tell me you guys are not the managers. No, you don't directly manage it, but you own the shares. So you have some say. And is that why Brian Harrod has 2 apartments there? Yes, he has 2 apartments. Is that welfare fraud? That's what they give the guy so he can attack people like me, so he can put those nasty posts. Where do you think the porn came from, the child porn? It came from Macy, the chief of staff of the city council president, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. They never liked me talking about them or looking into this stuff. And I'm wondering if the Collins Realty Group is making any money here too. We'll be looking in for that also. Maybe not. But there's people quitting because they don't like what Freddie's talking about. They don't want to get caught up in the bullshit. He's touching on things that he shouldn't be touching on, and it's getting hot. And so if you want to fuck with my business, I'm coming for you. I'm not going anywhere. You're going to have to take my life. And I know people say, Freddie, be careful. I don't want anything to happen to you. Neither do I. But I'm not backing down. And one way or another, it's going to come to an end. So I would like to be a daycare owner. I would like to run daycare centers. That's what I like to be busy doing. Not looking at financial documents all day of the Mulford Corporation or the Mulford Preservation and all the other entities, nonprofits, and for-profits, LLCs that you guys have started and have tangled up in a web where you funnel money ultimately to your private accounts. That $11 million that they generated was from developer fees. That's right, the Mulford Garden. Old Stone Mill. Who's Wicked Wolf? Just keep looking, keep digging. Who is International Management? Who's over there at 10529 Oak Court Road, Woodstock, Maryland? Who will pick up the phone when I call 410-505-8936? I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. What's the Corporation Processing Company? What's going on? 54th Station in Albany.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
The bulletproof vest is coming in medium, right? Make sure you get a medium, please. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah. Teflon. Yonkers Sweeney heads to Miami with Italy for round 2. Team Italy is making history in the World Baseball Classic, and a Yonkers native has been right in the middle of it. Brian Sweeney and the Italians advanced to the second round of the International Baseball Tournament with a pair of upset victories this weekend, the first time Italy has moved on in the tournament. The rich get richer. The poor get kicked the fuck out of Yonkers. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a beautiful day. I am not going anywhere. Either I'm going to run businesses or I'm going to be the best damn investigator ever. Shanae Williams, I truly hope you do not get voted because you don't care about the people. You care about yourself, and you out here gentrifying your community with these developers and anybody else that wants to make money. What about you, Lakeisha? Is that why you chose to introduce the term limit extension to extend the term for you to get money? I know you want to get up out of there, right? Who do you think they're going to replace you with? I think I know. You sure you want to do this, guys? I love my business, my wife, my kids.
Freddie wins.
I will go all out. Folks, these people are stealing our taxpayer money, funneling taxpayer money to their own pockets, doing absolutely nothing. They know it. It's like a crew of criminals, thick as thieves, as they say. And anyone that comes in there and tries to disrupt that, they will go at you anyway. Talk about your wife, your kids, take your business. But will they take your life? Will they take your life?
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered, the place where truth lives and corruption dies. Happy Friday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I mean the men that take care of their kids, that are there for their kids, regardless of what, you make it happen. Happy Father's Day. May God bless each and every one of you. And I pray that you have a beautiful and blessed weekend. Yonkers, I truly, genuinely love you.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics
You're
with
watching
my dad,
Basement-
Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I know who the fuck you think you are. Hey, listen, I know who the fuck you think you are.
Come on, give it to us straight. Come on, give it to us straight. Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I was raised in housing. I was raised in housing. I was raised in I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. No!
Freddie